Welcome back, episode 71 of Revisited and new creator, but old f***ing Bush. Part 5, return to it. Giorno Giovanna, return to him. Creator, don't know the name.
It's Kaleb I.A.
Kaleb I.A. Talking about the video.
I.A. Sorry, I can't read. Dyslexia. I'm terrible. I'm trash. My goodness, how did this happen?
I.A. you said?
I.A. It's definitely I.A.
Kaleb I.A. video, why Giorno Giovanna is a great character. We heard a little bit about this. It is not good from what we heard, but who knows? Maybe those were just some minute parts that were terrible.
Yeah, I know of Kaleb. Every now and again, one of his videos will just sneak into the recommended and I'll check it out. He's made some good videos, like how unbeatable is Beach Boys. He would match them up against every stand user that came before him. Like, could this person beat them? Could that? And those are very interesting things. He also does theories versus battles, explain things of that nature. I've generally been like, yeah, this, good dude. But it's part 5. It's Gio. And it's why he's a great character. And no.
Yeah, I don't see it.
We've gone through this. We don't believe that to be true. And
we welcome anybody that presents an argument that is sound. And we're just like, you know what? Maybe.
Hopefully this is presenting some sorts of new arguments. Hopefully we don't go back to the
he gonna say genre. Resolve.
Yes, of course. You have to.
Then there's no new arguments.
There could be.
There's no new arguments.
I'm hoping for at least 2 new arguments.
Okay. We got a description?
No description.
No description. Interesting. Okay.
It's just a joke and just the
stuffy things.
Twitter, Discord, all that good stuff.
Yeah, get into it then.
Bizarre adventure, Vento Arreo. Vento Arreo has been one of the most...
Can they just call it Golden Wind?
It would be a lot easier. It would be a lot easier for everybody because of how it's said and nobody really... But
I think Oceanus got the closest, if not perfect, on it with Vento Audio. But, just call it Golden Wind. You aren't more knowledgeable by saying Kuradine instead of Krillin.
But this is also right before the anime came out. This was wait, was it? 3 years ago. It was out already. Wasn't it? Why is he using manga?
Probably to copyright stuff. Easier to bang through.
Hang on. I don't remember if this was out. Jojo Golden Wind episode.
I think it was because we started the channel about 2 years ago.
It came out 2018. July 5th, 2018, and this video came out April 19th, 2018. So this was right before it. But then again, the promotionals and the subs and all that stuff should have come out. Not the subs, the trailers and stuff should have came out. Doesn't matter. I will excuse this. It's a dumb Italian word. Nobody likes Italians.
Most suspenseful, natural, and passionate parts I've ever got involved with. If I'm going to be...
Let me just get all of that.
Vento Arreo has been one of the most suspenseful, natural, and passionate parts I've ever got involved with.
Okay. What was an unnatural part? 3, maybe?
I wouldn't say that.
I would say the only reason it's not natural is because they hit the wall of their progression and then they went, yeah, but I got more. That's the only thing I can find unnatural, because we see the end goal. We see what we got to do to get to the end goal. And then it's like, yeah, but now more creatures in front of you. That's an
unnatural aspect of it, though. Not in and of itself, all of it being unnatural.
Maybe part 4, where it's just like, all right, halfway through, here's the actual villain.
We need to figure out what he means by unnatural.
He's not going to explain it. That's why I'm trying to do it now.
And also, he goes, this is one of the most natural and all that stuff. There was 5 parts to this point. You know what?
No. We're probably in part we were heavy in part 8.
No, I'm trying to think. Is he a manga man? But then again, he's showing the manga panel, so
Colored manga at that.
yeah. But there's not really a point in saying it's one of the most if there's only 8 things to compare it to.
7 technically, if you want to get pedantic, and part 8 wasn't over with. So,
if I'm going to be honest, part 5 is one of my
as opposed to the other videos where you're being dishonest.
Language is very difficult.
It's
I don't
truly not.
We keep saying this, but yeah, it's such an easy thing to just stop saying that because of the implications.
Yes, I don't think people understand the implications. They're just like, in my opinion, and then it spurts out. And if I'm being honest, blah blah blah.
It's sort of like a filler beginning of a sentence.
ever got involved with. If I'm going to be honest, part 5 is one of my favorite pieces of fiction there ever was.
Woo! Okay, that's what we need to hear.
That's a spicy boy. That's a spicy boy.
Yeah, I don't see
Part
it.
5 is the stinky.
I do not see it.
Theme monster. I gotta assume.
Yeah, resolve themes. And if he likes Geo, and he at least thinks he's a great character. I don't know if he likes him necessarily, but he at least thinks that he's a great character. And Geo represents a lot of what the part is going for.
Has there ever been anyone that liked part 5 but didn't like Geo? Or the reverse? Because I feel like they're so hand in hand that it's hard to separate it in people's minds. So if you like part 5, you have to like Geo because he basically is part 5.
I remember somebody being like, yeah, Geo, but all the other ones.
Oceanus did that. But he excused Geo and said he's a perfect character.
With how it took after...
The gangster stuff! Mafia stuff!
I don't care.
I don't care!
I don't need to compare this to every Mafia thing that ever happened.
Do I have
need
to
compare part 3 to every Globe-Trotting thing that ever happened?
Part 7! Should we just look at like the Amazing Race and go, it takes after the Amazing Race, and because of that...
pieces of fiction there ever was. With how it took after so many cinematic masterpieces that have stayed strong against the test of time, it had created this animated take on an era that I believe to be remarkable, to say the least. Though that's been argued since there was an area in time where Vento Arreo had poor translations which had been fixed for a reasonably long amount of time. With that and some false interpretations, Vento Arreo has been one of the most misunderstood parts, though I believe that Stone Ocean...
Sure, you can say that, but what about somebody like me who read the proper translation and still was just like, yo, this is trash? You don't listen to the people that's like, I read the freaking...
You don't listen to Cosmo? Who said he read the translations and then went shrug shoulders?
You don't listen to Cosmo.
No, you do. Look at the views.
No, you don't listen to those people. You just go, okay, read the updated one. And if they go, no, you go, okay, disregard them. Because they're not trying to gain the knowledge.
Yeah. You're not trying to further what you already... You're setting your ways. You're setting what you understand. You're not trying to change it, further it, devalue it, whatever.
Now, if somebody goes, hey, read this guidebook to understand, that's why I'm like, no. I need to read the manga, and that's what I need to understand. Mm-hmm. But you didn't get the proper representation of the manga. So you should probably go back and, no, I just know I won't like it. I didn't like it back then. Well, you didn't properly read it back then because it wasn't available. So you don't listen to those people.
Most misunderstood parts, though I believe that Stone Ocean probably takes the cake on being the most understood with how many times it's been told that it's terrible. I'll save that for a different video. This video is on...
Did he
say it's the most understood?
Yeah, that's why I was like, did he mean misunderstood?
I think that he means that he does not like part 6. This is...
We can't have this.
We can't.
We will not have this part 6 slander, y'all.
He made 15 videos on it. At least in a playlist.
Mm-hmm.
He was hyped about the anime. It looks amazing. Watch the intro at 1.5 speed. He said he'd get to it, but he hasn't done like a proper like review. He's okay. Here's the heaven explained. Children of Dio. Oops, didn't mean to actually click on that. Yeah, this is 3 years ago. We'll get to it, but you haven't. So now I need to try to figure out how exactly you feel about part 5. Let's hear.
It is here. It is here. It is here. It is
Let's
here.
see.
It is here.
This is for the trailer of part 6.
Has been announced on the Inherited Soul event. This is what we've kind of wanted. This is what we were hoping for. This is what should have been happening. This is what we're expecting. But yes, Stone Ocean is now confirmed. I will be showing all types of things on the screen here.
It's like just a trailer review.
Looks trash.
Yeah, I'm just gonna real quick like search his Twitter, see if he says anything about part 6.
You.
IA, we're remembering that.
Lest we forget. You might also need to look up Stone Ocean. Jojo, we're talking about part 6.
Okay. You said he likes part 6.
Yeah, maybe it was just a misspeak.
Real quick with the Stone Ocean, just in case. Because, I just want to understand where exactly he's coming from. Hopefully get a little insight about what makes that one stink and this one good.
If he thinks it stinks. Yeah.
So he said, I will defend part 6 and you can't stop me.
Okay, yeah. So it was a misspeak.
Thank goodness. Oh my goodness.
In question, Giorno Giovanna. I've always said I've had so much to talk about when on his character, but now I have the time to do so. The cast of Vince Torreo are...
What's preventing his time before? I don't understand.
Maybe it was because part 4 was coming out, and as it's coming out, you want to get people watching your videos because I'm talking about part 4. The anime's out. Come watch my video explaining it. And now that it's no longer out.
So it took you a year after it came out?
Yeah, it looks like it was just. And then he sprinkled in that part 6, but it looks like it was just part 4 stuff. And then you just sort of slid into the part 5 when you had time.
On his character, but now I have the time to do so. The cast of Venzo Arreo are a group of layered individuals, and Giorno must be that one character where I'm able to continuously look at him and still hold the same amount of interest as much as the first time I've investigated him. He's one of the coolest and most resilient
characters. Pause. They're a group of layered individuals. We're not going to get into that because these are not their videos. Understandable.
Is there a
character who's not layered?
Yes, unless you're completely flat with no past, no development, no goals, no motivation, no reasonings behind the way you are.
And we're not talking about somebody like Leaky Eye Luca. We're talking about somebody who has a past, who has a motivation, who has a character,
who has at least some a substantive amount of time within the story.
So that's just one of those things that's like not even worth saying. You should have picked a better phrasing right there.
As much as the first time I've investigated him.
Oh, and also, what was that whole he needs to like him as much as. Could you go back
The
to
first
that?
time he
Yeah.
investigated him.
Because that was a weird.
Oreo are a group of layered individuals, and Giorno must be that one character where I'm able to continuously look at him and still hold the same amount of interest as much as the first time I've investigated him. He's one of the coolest and most resilient characters due to how he was able to get to where he was after all that he's been through. There's that, and then he's being...
Okay, after all Fugo's been through, it's cool to see where he got it. After all that Nanacha been through. Well, these aren't really fair because Fugo's a coward and Nanacha just dies. But after all Nanacha went through, it's nice to see him in a place where he can be happy with his friends. Again, not really saying anything with that sentence.
backed by characters where the layering sits around the level of Giorno, but more so below and a few on par, possibly one above. I think that was a well enough start on it all. It's time that I show you what I see in Giorno.
Those green shoes are horrible.
Giorno Giovanna, born Haruno Shiobana. With the parents that Giorno had, you know that it had to have been difficult for him growing up. With one...
No, not necessarily. It could have just been Dio splashing his seed about, and then his mom's was cool, raising him and being good, and found a new husband, and he was good. It means nothing. We don't know what the sons of Dio were like in how they were raised in part 6 for the most part. Mm-hmm. Oh, shrug shoulders.
One parent being repetitively absent when he was an infant, and the other being absent forever. With a mother that would constantly be in and out, Giorno had lived in fear as an infant, trembling at night since crying wouldn't help, waiting for his mother to return each night she's gone. His mother had gotten married to an Italian man, which ended up in the transfer from Japan to Italy. That man she married was no better than her. He was a man that would...
Is this gonna be a ton of synopsis?
I sincerely hope not, but I fear that it will be.
Are we getting DBZ Imrand?
Secretly.
Where it's just 98% synopsis, 2% analysis.
I hope not.
And somehow 1% clap.
abused Giorno consistently. He developed a habit on trying to read people because of the abuse he got from his stepfather, which led to more abuse because the man believed that Giorno was trying to read him because Giorno thought of himself higher in comparison.
Pause. I hated that explanation.
No, shut up.
It stinks.
No, shut up.
As a little tiny baby infant,
no,
looks to be 6 years old. He learns to read people to such a degree that his father notices it and tries to stifle it. And he's that good at it. While surely being constantly beaten, malnourished. In what way do you learn a skill like that? And what does it mean to learn to read people?
To school and such. So that's also hours a day of study and such.
What does it mean to read people? Their facial expressions, their mannerisms, what they're thinking, what? It just is, and he just did it, and it helps him in the future. Here you go. I don't like that.
This was that Giorno's reading was trying to give him a reason on why people would treat him like this. It got to a point of where he was the target of the town, believing that he's the bottom of the bottom, and nearing the breaking point of where he would end up growing to be a person filled with self-hate. Nothing in Giorno's life was showing any hope of getting better, but that all changed. On one faithful day when Giorno was on his way home, he had saw a man who had been shot, laying there in the shadow of a stone wall.
Oh, dude. This is 100% an Imran.
We got okey doked.
It's been so long.
You hate to see it.
He's a great character. Here's the manga.
Here's what happened.
All right, thanks, guy. Oh, dude.
Look how layered he is. Oh. I'm just going to rephrase what happens on the page. Here you go.
This is and copy paste in Wikipedia and going sentence by sentence and just going. All right, I'm gonna put a comment here and take the beginning of the sentence and put it at the end and change like 2 words.
A group of men were looking for that man, and those same men asked Giorno where he was.
Oh my Oh my God! No! Don't do this!
We're already here. What do you mean don't do this? It's happening. It's happened 3 years ago. Don't do this. It's done, did.
No, we don't need to done do it!
Giorno had lied for this man, a man who he had no clue on who he was. He had no clue on what this man did, good or bad, and didn't know whether if lying would have got himself hurt. He didn't see it like that though. All he see in that wounded man was himself, a lonely man at his lowest. Though lying wasn't the only thing he did. Around this time, Gold experienced his ability was coming to be, and he had grown the grass around the man. 2 months later, he was met by the same man. And that man, while looking extremely dark, calm, and menacing, he had expressed his deepest gratitude to Giorno, and he told him that he would never forget what he did for him. After that happened, life had completely flipped for Giorno. His stepfather was no longer abusing him, the town's children treated him as good as possible, and all of this was done just due to a man that he saved. That man being a gangster. While he looked out for Giorno, he would only encounter him as an individual to be respected. As he grew, he learned about the importance of trusting people from a complete stranger. His life was made better by a...
You picked this video.
I said we can do this. Shut up! We played the video. We went through a couple seconds in the middle, and you said we can do this.
You're forgetting a part in the beginning. I scrolled up and you said, hey, go back to that part 5 video.
All right, if we want to go to the very beginning, who added it to the playlist?
Oh my goodness.
All right then, shut up.
We're not doing that.
Oh, but we're trying to put the blame on me.
At the very
We
beginning.
both had a part in this.
Holy crap.
We both had a part in this, correct?
That is unbelievable.
Did we both have a part in this?
In the beginning.
You're not answering my question.
We can
did we both have a
Caleb's fault? Oh, it's Susan's fault for making in YouTube. Oh, it's her parents for in birthing her. If we can't keep trailing this back.
Are we both?
You the one.
Are we
one
both
that said,
at blame here?
You the one that said play the video.
And you agreed that this should be the video. We could do this video.
You the one.
Is this what happened?
Play the video.
Let me just say, is that what happened?
You have picked a poor okie doke video. No, you picked a good okie doke video, but it's a poor video.
His career was made purely off of crime, living above the law. In the manga, it says that he no longer had that weak look about him. Within his heart, a calm breeze blew. I see that being a huge part of his character, and that description alone speaks so much about Giorno. So, with that...
What does this say?
A calm breeze. He's got a very calm personality and demeanor and a way that he goes about life.
Calm, cool guy?
Yeah, calm, cool guy.
He sucks.
No, he's the odd Jojo. The evens ones are the hotheads and the odds are the cool guys.
He's like the worst cool guy.
Sure, but
because at least in Jotaro, people didn't turn their head and go, "What, Jotaro?" At least in part 7, he sucked, and he basically did for like 60% of the manga. The camera is consistently on this bomb with a super overpowered stand.
It was like, hey, you're poisoned. Brick snake.
How does that work?
Okay.
Weak and lonely demeanor being gone, and living in an environment where the law is corrupt and no one defends the people, Giorno had his eyes on his #1 goal. A goal that not a single person in this world could take from him. Giorno Giovanna wanted to be a gangstar.
Pause. There's infinite people that can take that from him because they could kill him and then the dream will be over.
No, because he would just zombie himself or some What does it mean to be a gangster? Like, could he have been a gangster on his own? Because I would say he's a gangster before he even enters Passione.
He is, but it's all about cleaning up the streets and stuff, and he can't really do that on his own because he would always have to be looking over his shoulder for the actual gang who's ruling the place, and they're just like, "Hey, you cleaning up the streets," and it would be better to do it in a bigger group.
Would the gang care that he's cleaning up the streets? Like, what did the boss need the money for from drugs?
More money.
That says nothing.
The people on top always want more money.
But for what purpose? Like, Jeff Bezos wants more money so he can fly in space.
Mm-hmm.
What was the purpose? Because you would think it would be towards some end goal or some flashy thing, but he's a recluse in a tiny apartment draped in shadows. So what was the money for?
More money.
Because we saw Popo in the jail. He's living lavishly. He's eating like a king.
He has his mansion. The property tax alone.
Does he even live there? Or was that
I don't remember seeing furniture.
Or was that just the place where he said, "Hey,
Drop
yo,
her
come
off."
here"?
He might have rented it. And, it's a lot of places you got to rent in order to stay secretive as much as possible.
Yeah. With your protection collection money, you could do that.
But you got to pay these people as well.
Popo had like 50 million in literal treasure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The boss has a lot of that too. I would not doubt he has over 800 million.
That's too much.
What's he doing with it?
He's got a mansion.
That he don't live in.
That's a very stylish shirt. The man might be into fashion.
He took the shirt off.
No, the very, opened, I almost say open air, but it is kind of open air. It's got all the checkered patterns and just chest all out.
It's like fishnet stockings for your chest.
Yeah, you're not going to see that in normal life.
Wow, $600 for a shirt, all right.
You have a lot of shirts. You don't just buy one designer shirt.
You buy 1,000 shirts. That's, in what, 600,000? You've got 799,400,000 left.
According to your guesses. I accept that somebody wants money and wants to get more money.
I have no problem with that. If there was some type of thing it was going towards. Because even with just Jeff Bezos, even if you take away the flight, it's still going towards building Amazon and his businesses. Even if it's not paying the workers or treating them fairly.
Allegedly.
No, there's no allegedly.
Somebody was just like, there's something where if you don't scan something within 3 minutes, somebody can come down and just fire you on the spot. So you're not taking a knee, you're not doing nothing. It's just like, hey, this time is ticking down. You better start scanning something. Otherwise, somebody can just come down and just like, all right,
clock out forever.
I forget exactly what it's called, but I remember seeing that video like, oh, that's horrible.
I'm going to pause.
You couldn't even play a Gangstar song.
Copyright.
You only need 4 seconds.
Right here, because for those that didn't get it there, the last line was a reference to Goodfellas, a movie, if you already haven't seen, please do. It actually traces back to Vento Rayo pretty well, and along with that, Giorno's character. Now, Giorno's character introduction is one of the coolest things I've seen in Jojo because there's way more than what we're seeing that made his character what he is. Reading through and slowly realizing that Giorno's character being a product of both Jonathan and Dio is huge.
New argument, sir?
I didn't say that every single one of them would be a new argument.
All children that come from Dio are a product of both.
They're not even a product of both. It's his head on his body. It's still a sperm. What about Dio is there? Don't tell me it's just his brain is influencing his sperm.
Rewriting
Genetics,
his DNA.
DNA, all this stuff. There should be nothing of Dio there. But there is. Now, this is not something that could happen. Somebody taking their head off and put it on a just puppet. Obviously not. But I would need to have something to say his body is influencing his genetics or sperm or something. Because it's just not feasible in that way. That's just not the way that sperm production is done. There's not enough. What? Dio's got a head? What is it? Again, I didn't know the weight of a head. But what's a head got? In 3 ounces of blood in it? How much of Dio is actually in there? Even if you go, yeah, it's Dio and Jonathan, it's got to be like 5% Dio.
His father was Dio, who survived using Jonathan Joestar's body.
I just don't like this.
What Giorno desires most is hope?
It's a mistranslation.
Your desire is hope?
It's a mistranslation. It's a bad translation.
Then don't use it!
It's the best translation, actually.
Even with a terrible upbringing, he was able to empathize and live better for it. The humanity shown to him.
Yes, he had a terrible upbringing for like 6 years of his life. And then for the next 10 or so years, he was protected. He could read people. He has a stand. Pretty good life. He's not mentioning his mom or his dad or anything. So they must not be in the picture. He's got employment. He's got a dumb ear trick. Yeah, I understand that he had a bad beginning of his life. But then the rest of his life seems to be quite excellent.
Had given him hope in the world so that he can bring the same justice that the man was for him, but now for others. Now, how does he apply this into his world?
Pause.
Well,
and how does that make it the best character introduction of a JoJo?
Shut up. Okay, I could maybe see it. No, because I think part 2 was better.
I think part 4 was better. Because especially when he was big Hulk and Josuke, just sort of like a copy and paste of Jotaro, and then he's like, oh, turtle! I like that a whole lot more. I think that's a lot better than...
You know what? Jotaro's is probably better too.
With a gun and...
Being in a jail cell, yeah.
I mean... Now, this is just my own personal thing, but one of the best lines in JoJo is Jonathan going, I didn't save you because you're a girl. I saved you because I'm a gentleman, and this is what gentlemen do. Going into a fight that he knows that he can't win, outnumbered, just to help somebody as a gentleman would. I think that's a pretty darn good introduction. This dude walks on the scene and just goes, hey, don't hit that in frog. No, it wasn't even that. It was just looking at a picture, hey, hop in my taxi. It was people talking about him. Mm-hmm. It's just the idea that he is of Jonathan and Dio. I don't think that's what makes him the best.
Oh, that's Vento Rayo. Now, how he applies himself in the gangster world and the personality that he's developed shows in Gold Experience Part 2, the chapter where he interacts with Leaky Eye Luca. When it comes to the confidence he portrays, it has many sides. Against Luca,
I don't care about confidence when you know that you could kill this guy instantly.
When you have an invisible ghost helping you every step of the way.
When you could turn anything inanimate into anything, any sort of plant or animal. When you could punch him and have him slow down in a year. When you can look at his face and read him and see exactly what he's getting at when he's going, how old are you? This means nothing that he's confident like this. It means a lot when in Josuke's like, I gotta protect this turtle. Did you say about my hair? There's no confidence there. He's just like, I'd like to help this turtle. There's no reason why y'all should be killing this turtle. I'm gonna help. Jojo going, I don't want to hurt people with this dumb ghost.
I don't know what the f***'s going on, but I'm not trying to hurt nobody.
This is the safest place for me and for y'all. This confidence is bullshit because he's overpowered. I wouldn't be like, yo, look at Superman and his overconfidence. That speaks a lot to his character. I'm like, it's Superman. This is a mook.
He walked in with such confidence when that guy had an assault rifle. Mother is Superman, of course.
Attitude was warranted since he knew he wasn't in any real danger since no one has been able to contest him.
Then what did this speak to?
And you could look at any stand user would basically have this interaction should they have a good enough stand. Mm-hmm. Not somebody like Survivor. But they'll just be like, you're nothing to me. I could kill you. You talking down to me, whatever. So this is not anything inherent to Giorno himself. This is just something that people with a lot of confidence in their abilities just do.
Confidence is at a point where it's not necessary and he needs to come down to realize the issue at hand. At other times, it's a front along with his bravery so he doesn't break his composure and...
A new argument?
There's plenty of time left. Now, you seem to be misunderstanding me. I said I hope that there would be. I didn't say that I knew that there would be.
I'm hoping for 2 new arguments.
Hoping.
Yeah, no.
I wasn't like, yo, there's about to be 2 new arguments.
I am just telling you why your hope was misguided.
The video isn't over yet.
The video is most certainly not over yet. But we're a fifth of the way through. A third.
It doesn't matter because there was a lot of synopsis and that doesn't count towards the actual analysis of the video.
After confidence, you have Giorno's tolerance. When Luca was getting at Giorno, you can see that he knows that Luca is planning on doing something that's going to end up being unreasonable. He was reading him as soon as he started approaching. Luca is constantly beating around the bush and Giorno gets assertive with him. That alone brings out Luca's true form and true intentions. Luca wants a gift of respect, that being money, so that Giorno and him could be cool. I'm guessing that the airport is either direct territory or around territory of the gang that Luca is affiliated with. Giorno tells him that he has no money since he's already paid for protection, but Luca keeps on asking for his money. Even when Luca is holding his wallet, he's asking for Giorno's wallet and money. Giorno's nearly fed up with repeating himself because he believes that he's just explaining the same thing over and over to someone unintelligent, meaning if someone didn't hear it correctly the first time, he most likely believes they're being dumb. A frog created by Gold Experience comes to Giorno, and while Giorno has moved his focus to it, Luca is telling him to get rid of it and pay him. One of Giorno's beliefs connects over on those innocent should be defended and not attacked. While Giorno knows the
what?
That wasn't what it was.
What?
That entire thing was if you hit it, it's gonna bounce back to you and kill it and kill you. That wasn't about protecting the innocent. That was him going, I have an ability, and if you hit me, you're going to die. It's harmless as long as you don't attack it. Exactly. But if you attack it, it's not harmless. He's not going, don't harm the harmless.
frog and what will happen if it's attacked.
It's harmless as long as you don't attempt to attack it.
That says nothing to him going, I'm protecting the weak and innocent. That's reading way too far into this. This is, you will die if you hit this frog.
More so trying to give Luca some reasoning on why he shouldn't do it. Luca goes ahead and doesn't listen to Giorno again, which ends up being his downfall. Unreasonable people are extremely annoying to Giorno, but he seems to always try to be a voice of reason when something is happening with them, even if he knows their intent.
So we're just completely ignoring him never using this power again, and why this power even worked like this right now.
And why the frog came back to him.
At
when
all.
It wasn't his luggage.
No explanation of the power. Oh, but he's so willing to shut up.
No, keep talking.
Try to be a voice of reason when something is happening with them, even if he knows their intent. If an action of intent happens or was previously made, Giorno will not hesitate to be the judge of that person. There are levels to his judgment that vary on the severity of the harmful action. I think the best show of Giorno's judgment was against Cioccolata.
But he says that there's different levels, but Popo killed one person. That dumb Italian plumber.
Yeah.
Well, he's basically Mario, color scheme. And
He's even called Super Mario.
And he shot him in the head. You telling me that you're sitting there with Guido Mista and going, Guido Mista never killed anybody. He doesn't deserve this. So Guido Mista, Giorno knows that Mista has killed people. Why doesn't he deserve punishment?
Why doesn't anybody in that gang knowing they've killed people?
You telling me that it's because Mista is a good person? He doesn't know Popo enough to tell that he's a good person or not. Unless he's just reading his face.
And how many times has this quote-unquote judgment happened? Most of the times he's just beating an enemy.
A person who's trying to do him harm.
Like White Album. Did he even say, this is for the people that you killed or anything? Or is it just a really long beatdown?
I don't remember. He could have. I don't remember.
Well, I'm sure he'll show the manga page.
Being one of the most disgusting people we've ever seen in JoJo.
Why do y'all keep saying this? Just because he killed a lot of people and was a dirtbag.
It's easy to say that because of his personality.
Joshua is way more disgusting than him.
But actively torturing the elderly. That's really it. His stand is like, hey, people are gonna die when I use my stand. It's a consequence. But he actually likes it as well.
And does Giorno know about the elderly people?
No, he does not.
So, and the elderly people thing, like one of the most disgusting people we've ever seen. Come on, I will never understand this take. He killed old people and he killed a village of people because it's stand, that's just what it does. We've seen people torture. We've seen almost rape. Several times.
I'm not defending this. I'm not going, hey, he right. I'm just going.
Are we talking about Grateful Dead slowly turning people into old people? A little baby just dead?
Just turning people straight into dust.
Slowly!
That's why the words one of the most. And that just offers so much wiggle room.
Deserving the longest brutal beatdown that's ever happened in manga. Honestly, the ending was beautiful, if you think about it. I think all the other JoJos are known for answering betrayal after it's been attempted, like Jotaro against Steely Dan or Rubber Soul.
That was not about betrayal. He said, I'm writing down everything you're doing because I'm going to pay you back for this.
They act after it even while knowing they're going to be betrayed because...
And you said every JoJo, you named one instance of a JoJo doing something like this and nothing else.
Because usually they're in situations where they're above the person that they're going against. In the fight against Cioccolata would have had the upper hand if Giorno was actually abiding to his word. But he was
But Gio was above him? Is what you're saying? So it's equal to the other JoJos. This whole big speech was just waiting until the bug hatched. It wasn't like I'm trying to trick you or anything. He was just biding his time. He wasn't like,
I
I'm
was
actually
speaking precisely because I wanted time.
That's all this was. This wasn't mercy. This wasn't vengeance or anything. It was just waiting. He would have tap danced if he needed to.
But you promised that if I stayed still, you wouldn't harm me. Know your place. Is he above him?
Trying to Chocolata the whole time. He was so shocked since he believed that since Giorno is on the opposing side where it looks like he's a good hero archetype, then it turns out that he's an anti-hero, if anything.
No! If you want to go the strictest definition of anti-hero, almost all the JoJos are anti-heroes. Particularly Jolene. You're essentially saying that he said words, but he wasn't actually truthful with his words. And because of that, he's not the super shiny, always telling the truth, shonen protag like
And Chocolata believed him. That's I don't understand.
Luffy out here punching women!
This is a
Yusuke just legit. Oh yeah, I wasn't gonna hit you. I'm not gonna hit you. Oh great. No, I'm actually gonna kick you. What are we doing?
we're putting
This is nothing special. I'm so tired of this
putting
boy.
Gio up on that pedestal, just like he's better, he's more special.
He's not.
He's not a
He's
hero.
not.
He's an anti-hero, y'all. Get ready for this. That's what this is. He's different from others in some ways,
And
he's not
very
gonna-
similar
And he's
in
not going to
others.
mention the whole things that makes him similar to the other JoJo.
Can't you say this exact same thing for Jolene?
Absolutely.
Can't you say this
100%.
exact same thing for Josuke?
Absolutely.
What are we talking
They're
about?
not heroes. He tried to con a man out in a dice game.
Just because he ain't like him.
It's fun stuff.
What are we talking about here?
Or well, a type of anti-hero since there's so many categories in that one type alone. If Giorno acted like anybody else and not lied to Chocolata, we might have lost Mista. But
If he acted like anybody else, like whom?
Like whom? I don't know.
If he acted like Jonathan. I'll give you Jonathan. No,
'Cause he's-
because he lied to Erina.
He did.
Definitely not Joseph.
Definitely not.
Maybe Gappy?
Maybe, but even still, if you look at the first fight where he's just like, Yasuo, look away, and then he just starts punching him, he's not the type that would sit there and just go, I'm a righteous type of person who's going to sit down and talk to you and then just let you go. I don't know who he means.
Goku. That's exactly who I was thinking, dude. Straight up Ginyu Frieza.
This is nothing.
This is nothing. Midoriya? Anybody else? If he was anybody but Giorno Giovanna, this specific character doing these specific things that no one else in history would have done.
For a purpose, which was to let the beetle get in his mind and burst forward.
we didn't because Giorno knows better. While this is one of Giorno's strongest moments, there's others that support the portrayal of Giorno, the defender of the innocent.
Did he defend the innocent or did he get revenge for them? Because they did.
Yeah, there was no defense.
How many people has he stood in front of and going, there's this kid right here, I gotta defend them? I can at least go, Bruno went, I'm gonna defend my team for this mission. Let me jump off this train. At least I know Trish went, I'm a weak and girl, but I gotta defend Giorno, so let me push this back.
It's it's Defender of the Innocent. Because you can't say anything about Brick Snake fight.
Super Mario.
He was already dead. No defending there. More avenging or getting revenge.
White Album.
No, nothing there.
Chocolata.
It could just be speaking to the whole big overarching thing of the drugs,
But
the
he's
children.
good with roughing people up for money and stuff. He just doesn't want drugs.
He's also fine with sitting there and watching them torture a guy.
He's also fine with them sitting there watching them stomp down an innocent dude that they thought was a stand user.
All of these are facts. Defender of the Innocent. That was a joke. Jokes are not canon.
Up also connects with the future after this moment, this being Giorno versus Black Sabbath. Unknowing of what happens when the lighter goes out, Giorno's one objective was to protect the flame. It's accidentally put out by an old man, but the same old man uses Giorno and reignites it to make the situation look alright. After that's done, Black Sabbath appears and attacks the old man for reigniting the lighter. Black Sabbath being a remote stand that's meant to activate once the flame is reignited after being put out. Black Sabbath had killed the old man, and that was a hefty hit to Giorno because that man died because Giorno wanted to become a gangster. After the fight, and after the time Polpo gave Giorno,
Then why didn't he punish himself?
Yeah, it was you screwed up. You let him get that lighter. This is just a stand. It's a remote stand. I have no control over it. It does what it do. That old man wasn't strong enough. That was his fault.
he returns to Polpo with the lighter. Polpo gives him this full speech on trust and how the worst thing possible to do in this world is to insult said trust, believing that if trust was to be insulted, then even God would permit murder in that situation. Giorno agrees, and then he serves God's judgment to Polpo by his own hand, turning his pistol.
God's judgment of Polpo. I am speaking for God by killing you.
Defender of the innocence we've never had.
I think we did it, Oceanus.
God's judgment we've never had.
Fate's hand.
Nope.
It's the same.
Nope. It's not. It
I
most
will.
certainly
You
is
know
not.
what? Fine. If you want to use God's judgment and not for Fate's hand, I believe we've had Defender of the Innocent type of.
I don't think we have.
I honestly do. I'm not budging on that one. I'll budge on this one because Fate and God and that bush, you could say the same. God's hand, Fate's hand delivering judgment upon enemies.
You're just replacing words now.
It's the same ethereal concept.
No, it's not.
It's like saying air and oxygen. Like,
Nah. You're just saying it's like that.
Into a banana. It's your last meal. Take your time. Enjoy it. Giorno has...
And again, he's just fine with somehow the banana turning into a gun long range.
Popo's hands perfectly being on the trigger of said banana, hearing the click and going, whatevs. Pulling the trigger after seeing it.
Not taking it out of his mouth. Just fine with that. Come on now.
And again, that means that Giorno, long range, had to have felt it in order to do that. Otherwise, the stand deactivates after a certain time, which would mean he can do like a time attack, but he would have to time it perfectly. Which makes no sense.
But it's not a, hey, my freaking apple is only here for 15 minutes. Because the snake for Babyface crawled all the way back to Babyface. And just killed him. So...
Yeah. And that was a long time.
So it's not even like it's a hard time limit. So he had to have deactivated it by feeling it.
Long range.
Long range. And we're just supposed to be cool with this. We're just supposed to be cool with Popo just not realizing, not recognizing him, it perfectly being cocked and pulled and all this stuff in order to kill him. We just have to be cool because it's a cool moment. No, absolutely not. And again, it's because he killed a dude. When Mista...
which was Giorno's fault.
When Mista is a murderer. When Narancia entorched an entire city block.
Moments where he shines and his beliefs shine harder. Though while he seems like this indomitable character, Giorno isn't as stoic as he would want you to think. While he keeps it cool in the part, it's all development from separate points. Each one of those points is a new experience to Giorno, and it all shows in his expressions and execution in both his words and actions. An early example is Giorno's first encounter with Bruno.
That was just a lot of words.
They said some things.
That was just a lot of meaningless words.
No, they had meaning.
Gio
Words have
does
meaning.
stuff and does things, and because of that,
You can see it in his face that with the experience, he is growing as a person and becoming more developed.
Instead of all these blank face all these other blank face anime manga
Like Jojo. Oh wait, no, he has so many expressions in the manga.
With sticky fingers, Bruno was able to put the eye of Luca into Giorno's closed hand. He couldn't think of any logical reason on how Bruno would be able to do something like this and put it into his hand without him feeling it. He was originally keeping an immovable...
Pause. How did he?
Shut up. Did he shake his hand or something at some point?
No, he said he kept his hand as a fist the whole time. He can't zipper it and then make it a portal. He would have to zipper it on this side of the hand and then unzipper it on the other side of the hand to pull it out.
Or he would have had to go into the zipper world, go unzip inside of Giorno's hand, and then put the eyeball in there. But I don't see how that could work.
Because surely, if his hand is like this as a fist, if a hole opened up, he would feel it moving.
I wouldn't even know if the moisture of an eyeball in his hand he would feel. Like, instantly.
And let's just say he only unzipped his palm. Does he have that control to just go, this thing is touching the palm, so I'm gonna unzip just the palm and not the hand that is so closely touching the palm? But it was a cool moment. We just have to accept. I'm not doing this. And this is the things I never thought of in part 5.
Same way that he did against Luca, since he was just viewing Bruno as another regular guy. But that was all over and done once Bruno started using sticky fingers.
No, it was over and done when the eyeball suddenly appeared in his hand. I'm sorry, that would shake even the hardest
Absolutely. And he goes, okay, this is a weird thing. I have a weird thing. Clearly he has a weird thing. I don't know what his weird thing can do. So now it's just sort of reconnaissance.
That's where we get the famous panel of Bruno licking Giorno's face and the taste of a liar. In Vento Arreo, we continue through it all, having Giorno going through all these new experiences.
What was the point of that?
Showing his facial expressions and how it changed from the usually what he wants you to think is this stoic guy, but he's not as stoic as he seemed, because he got his face licked after an eyeball appeared in his hand, and he was like, what?
So an unexpected situation, and his face shows that he is surprised or frightened or scared or whatever at this unexpected situation. And that's a reason why he's a great character, because the mask falls when something that is unexpected happened, such that it's an eyeball in his hand. He can't be like, oh, an eyeball. But even if he was like, oh, an eyeball, he'd be like, the mask doesn't even crack under these unspeakable situations. Him being surprised is not a positive thing.
No longer calm, cool guy. Now he has face and sweat.
He can't be a calm, cool guy because something very weird just happened.
Very weird. Very weird.
is for him to learn from it all. Sometimes he gets scared and he sees that same kid.
So sometimes he gets scared. And was he about to say, and he goes back to that same kid?
You know for a fact that's the next sentence, my guy.
This is putting way too much on Giorno.
Isn't that every video that's just like
really
why Giorno is great? It's the same cyclical arguments and the same reading way too deep into his bush.
We haven't gotten resolved.
Oh, that's surprising, actually.
New experiences for him to learn from it all. Sometimes he gets scared and he sees that same kid he was in the past. Sometimes he's disappointed in himself and he slowly begins losing himself in his composure. But in the end,
what calm, composed guy in anime, guy or girl in anime, manga, movies is always calm and composed? Unless they just lost their emotions, like Homeboy from Flame of Recca. Factually unable to be so.
Factually unable to feel.
But there's always moments of that. This is nothing to praise.
No, but I'm praising it.
I can't believe that this is a...
You can't believe...
He slowly begins losing himself in his composure. But in the end, he always finds his path. For each new experience, development is made, and that development is always solidified with a monumental panel that shows Giorno Giovanna in all of his shining glory. Sometimes it's him that needs to gather himself to come out victorious, and sometimes it's the others that guide him so he can follow in the same righteous path to where they walk together.
This is horrible. This
Part 5 never fails. It never, ever fails.
This does something to people. And it's because he already says this is probably his favorite piece of fiction of all time. So he has to look way too deep into it for this. To say these things. This, oh my goodness. I'm not digging this.
I believe I spoke a good amount on his character and personality, but I personally want to focus on his character design now. I'm sure that everyone takes note on Araki's design choice.
I personally want to focus as opposed to the impersonal rest of the video you were doing.
We haven't got a lot on designs.
This is fair.
In Vento Rayo, and how it's jumped so high in quality from Stardust Crusaders, since you know Diamond is Unbreakable is majority school uniforms, and Jotaro who doesn't change. You can obviously exclude the fashion god known as Rohan, but you understand what I'm getting at. On Giorno,
but there's also so many different stand antagonists. It's not just the school uniforms.
So I guess he's just talking about the main cast, but in the main cast you got so many different styles and looks.
Plus you got cover stories, cover arts, things like that.
Giorno's character design, in specific, it all starts at his hair. If you notice Giorno's hair, there's 3 buns. This connects over to Araki.
Don't take off your hair. I see you reaching for that cord to rip it out.
Dude.
Don't you fit that.
I might not want to hear this.
Hey, you said 2 new arguments. We got it, bro. You got what you wanted. Hope restored.
We're going to start going back. In Latin, the number 3 represent... I'm not trying to hear this.
In Italy, 3 buns represent the resolve. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Hair. If you notice Giorno's hair, there's 3 buns. This connects over to Araki and his love for the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds transfers over into multiple things, but mainly in Giorno and Dio. Dio with 3 letters translating into God, another 3 letters, transferring over into his heaven beliefs, which has the 3 main points of transformation: Son, the Father, and the Holy Spirit. 3 suns presenting in Stone Ocean, then the 3 moles in his ear. You get the deal with Dio. With Giorno, you have his 3 ladybugs and his 3 buns being a callback to Dio. While that's a subtle callback, the straps on gold experience is as direct as possible. Oh, another thing I almost forgot to mention. When Dio goes...
Straps?
Don't just say straps Just 3.
So I guess the 2 wings on his collar mean nothing because it's the number 2, so we can't even look into that. The 2 wings on Gold Experience, it means nothing. The multiple ladybugs on Gold Experience mean nothing because we can't tie it back into something.
It's gonna mean something in regards to Jonathan. Something with 2 with Jonathan.
No, it's not.
No, just wait. He's gonna tie it all together. Don't look up. What are you doing?
Are you serious with this? So,
oh, dude, those straps aren't even similar. They're just hanging straps.
So we're supposed to believe.
So wait, hold on. So part of his soul is Dio's soul?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is Dio's soul so attached to these pairs of pants that it transfers over to his son and his son's spirit?
Do his other son's stands have things of Dio in them? Because if not, I don't know what this argument could be.
It is looking way too far into it. Just look, number 3 and straps. This is a character design. This is pure. You can't go. This is nothing story related. This is something that Araki is purely doing. It means nothing because this man has to design some in 200 stands throughout all of JoJo's. He already said, yeah, there's motifs that I really like. Near the end of part 3, it was just like, yeah, I started liking hearts a lot. And that's why Dio got the heart. And then you go in part 4 and Crazy Diamond got a bunch of hearts on his head and stuff like that. It's 2 things. It's not. You have to. An in-universe explanation.
How about you complete a sentence there, buddy?
They would have to justify an in-universe explanation about why he has those straps. And there is none because that's just a pair of pants that Dio put on one day.
One
time. And so it's just a design thing that you could be like, yeah, Rocky's trying to make these connections. But then you go, wait, what? His spirit is acknowledging this person that he's never seen and these pants that he wore once. Unless you just go, these are just his favorite pants. In which case, we need some information about that. It's all just guesswork. It's all and I. This is one that we haven't gotten.
Yeah, you were right. Like I said, faith restored. Why wouldn't Gio's stand be like Dio's stand in areas as opposed to, some straps that were on his pants?
On the human's pants, it gets transferred over to the stand. I guess the 6 ladybugs on Gold Experience mean nothing. Because we can tie the 3 ladybugs on Gio back to Dio. But how do I tie in Gold Experience with Dio? Them straps. And that's all I got.
I'm just looking.
I can just imagine him just looking at a picture of this and then just looking at Dio like, what we got? 2 wings. We got any wings for Dio? No, nothing. Any hearts on Gold Experience? No. Hey, them straps, though.
What does Ungalo's stand represent in Dio? The airplane dude. I'm not seeing nothing.
This is outrageous.
Another thing I almost forgot to mention. When Dio goes, quote, awakened, unquote, he loses his headband, which was the 4th heart. After that, he's just left with 3. So there's another thing on that. Now, on color theory, the first thing to notice again is in his hair. The bright blonde hair more saturated towards yellow, representing a warming effect.
Oh no. We're going into color theory and warming effects of the color yellow.
Hey, this doesn't work because this is just an interpretation of in colors. Araki himself has said that it's not set the colors. We don't know if he signed off on these colors or what.
Effect. This being Giorno's hair means that you looking at Giorno should be expelling feelings of warmth and cheer.
What about when I read the week-to-week black and white manga?
It isn't surprising that yellow symbolizes happiness, warmth, and sunshine.
Cheer is a synonym for happiness.
So we're supposed to feel happy when we see his blonde hair.
I don't.
Is that what he's saying?
Yes, absolutely. It's no surprise that when you see Giorno, you feel those happy feelings because his hair is blonde.
Yellow is a symbol of cowardice, of sickness, and mental illness.
Red and yellow is also stimulates hunger. So
I guess we're just not taking that interpretation.
I guess I'm hungry looking at Giorno.
Being blonde, you can see his hair as even golden, symbolizing loyalty. Though it's only at his hair because you wouldn't want too much yellow. Too much yellow doesn't do well. Now, the blue being used in his...
I'm trying to get through it.
Shut up. Too much yellow doesn't do well. Dio was mostly yellow. Gold is the color of success, achievement, and triumph. Wealth and high status. What did he say gold represented? Because it wasn't any of them.
His hair is even golden, symbolizing loyalty. Though it's...
Loyalty? Okay. Let me look in quotes and put loyalty.
Maybe it's a specific color theory that has loyalty.
Okay, but if you're doing that, you like, I can look at any definition and a specific enough definition that I can make my point.
Yeah, I'm glad you recognize now.
What color stands for loyalty? Blue.
Oh.
What does the color gold symbolize? Wealth and luxury. Oh. Do you see loyalty in quotes?
Yes.
It should come up with loyalty.
Only at his hair because you wouldn't want too much yellow. Too much yellow doesn't do well. Now, the blue being used in his outfit symbolizes a lot. Blue being tranquility, sincerity, loyalty, wisdom.
Loyalty again?
We got our new arguments, yo.
Just more loyalty.
He even emphasized loyalty the second time. Blah, blah. Loyalty. Listen to that emphasis. Because, my God, you understand how loyal this boy is.
Blue being used in his outfit symbolizes a lot. Blue being tranquility, sincerity, loyalty, wisdom.
Loyalty. You saw that exclamation point. Period. Exclamation point. Loyalty.
What does the color blue have to do with him being a great character?
Because it embodies who he is. Warmth and cheerfulness, tranquility, sincerity, loyalty, wisdom, confidence, intelligence. The difference between wisdom and intelligence.
There's a difference. I'm not gonna...
Sincerity, he lied.
Quite a lot.
And you marked that as a positive when he lied to Chocolata.
But when he has to tell the truth... The color blue represents both the sky and the sea. It is associated with open places, freedom, intuition, imagination, inspiration, and sensitivity.
And
the blue also represents meanings of depth, truth, loyalty, sincerity, wisdom, confidence, stability, faith, and intelligence. So I guess you're just picking and choosing what you want to... Because faith isn't in there. Stability isn't in there. Trust isn't in there. You need to cite your sources about these things.
And maybe it's in the description, you know.
It's not in the description. I checked the description.
But we saw the Patreon and stuff. Maybe your eyes just glossed over hashtag sources.
Soul event.
Oops, not that one.
Exactly that one.
Where'd it go?
You just lost. Just lost it.
Where'd it go? That's not fair. How did that happen? God, my goodness. Why he's great. Fantastic. Here it is. Do you see any descriptions of...
Oh, yeah, I see a Twitch. I see a Twitter, an Instagram.
Do you see any sources?
I see a Discord. Yeah, outro. I see playlists. There's some sources there.
What? No.
Yeah,
it's a playlist of his other videos.
Oh, but outro. That's the source. The outro of the video. Where he got it from. Yeah, see? That's a source. He sources some...
No.
Is that not a source? Is that not a source?
I need sources of
the color blue.
trust, responsibility, loyalty, authority, calming, relaxing, create order, cognitive enhancing, honesty, commitment, sincerity, peace, fragile, depressive, conservative, predictable. We could just pick any color and be like, this represents... You could just pick and choose any of these and just like, look, it fits.
He did. What does the color purple represent? Because he's purple in a lot of these things.
Including the anime.
Mm-hmm. And let's see if it ties into Giorno.
Wisdom, bravery, and spirituality.
Yes, sir.
Royalty, luxury, spirituality, and the supernatural.
Yes, sir.
Imagination.
Yes, sir.
Mystery. Encourages, uplifts.
Yes, sir. He's literally saying y'all need more soul.
Inspires wisdom, enlightens. Creativity, wisdom, compassion, mystery, emotional, arrogant, immature, overly I went back before I was finished. Vigilant.
Yes, sir. We're in there, y'all.
Let's just see. Oh, I just looked up the color pink. Friendship, affection, harmony, inner peace, approachability. So it's almost like any mother in color could represent him. This means nothing that he's blue. It's just a color. It's not like a rocket. It's just like, yeah.
I'm going to use color theory for this design.
Okay, one more.
No more. We've proven our point. What could this color be?
Gray. Neutrality and balance.
That doesn't... Stop looking up gray.
Where's that big list that I saw? I'm not going to find that big list anymore. Cool, neutral, emotionless.
Can I hit play now?
This means nothing.
Confidence and intelligence, though I'm classifying his blue as a blue and not a dark blue or navy blue. If it's classified as navy blue or a darker blue, then it could symbolize power, seriousness, and knowledge. The ladybugs on Giorno's outfit gives...
That blue right there is not the same color blue as the blue on his shirt.
It's a small trace of...
fudging the numbers.
Fudging the numbers!
As power, seriousness, and knowledge. The ladybugs on Giorno's outfit gives us small traces of red. These small traces around the blue possibly means that it's either behind what the blue symbolizes or it's meant to not show as hard since it's not meant to give away, but...
You done went blind. You did the blinds. I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry, huh?
Let's get that again.
to small traces of red. These small traces around the blue possibly means that it's either behind what the blue symbolizes or it's meant to not show as hard since it's not meant to give away what the blue is masking. Going with the first belief, red symbolizing passion,
So you're gonna, it could be either one of these, and I'm gonna give examples of why it's both of these.
Would you like to hear what the color black represents? The color that he was in his very last appearance?
Sure.
Darkness, evil, night, despair.
New World Order is the best Danganronpa song, y'all.
This is horrible.
Combination. So in a sense, combining yellow, blue, and red should give you this type of hero color.
Pause.
What is he talking about? I would never say this about Superman, and those are his colors. These are the primary colors.
But what about yellow, purple, and blue? His anime colors. What about that? How do you go stretch that? It being behind the... Shut.
Approaching looks, Giorno has a face where it can give you so much ease and intimidation depending on what he's feeling, but I think the biggest thing is that Giorno's expressions are also callbacks to Dio, because...
Pause. What do you mean it can give you ease? Or intimidation?
When he's mad, you're like, whoa, scary. When he's resting, you're like, wow, reliable.
But you could be like, he's got very sharp eyes, but he's got very thin lips. So you can start tying that into stuff. But just going, he can do that.
Awesome.
His confession. I'm trying to see if any of those words was what he just said.
No, Serenity, absolutely not.
No, I'm saying if he just pulled it straight from the page and was just like, yeah, I don't understand this. Because what? You're telling me that Luffy couldn't be both in scary and cool?
He is.
He is. Not special about...
Midoriya has done both. Yes. And he's a little wimpy boy in a terrible manga.
His face...
Asa's done both.
His face can be scary and approachable. Thank you. What of it? Thanks for explaining it as well.
Next to Dio, because when people look at Giorno and Dio, they don't get an immediate intimidation expression, but instead an expression filled with serenity and kindness. I didn't know that charisma passes through genes like that. That's pretty clean. I'm sure that you get Giorno's character by now, but there's still more to the character. The only Joestar to grow, develop, and craft his stand when getting older,
He's only talking about the stand.
Yes. Thankfully,
but
we didn't pause in the middle of that.
But that's stupid.
Yes, because Jotaro got his at a later age. We don't really know about...
He's essentially saying he was able to change what his stand, or better understand what his stand could do. So instead of just being this life dude, he can now heal. Which speaks to me more so that he was too stupid to understand his stand as opposed to growing it.
He had to physically see somebody do it and just goes, oh, I can do that. I
didn't
think about implementing this way. Oh, thanks.
And the only Joestar? What? Part 7?
Oh my goodness.
Part 7?
Oh my. Part 8? Well, part 8, fair enough. It wasn't. He didn't get to that part yet.
You get Giorno's character by now, but there's still more to the character. The only Joestar to grow, develop, and craft his stand when getting older, he's very analytical when it comes to figuring out his stand or trying to figure out a situation to convert it to his side. He has funny moments.
Trying to figure out his stand? What?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
Very analytical.
I guess when he punched Bruno for the first time, he went, oh, that's what it does? And then never punched another person ever with that?
The argument was made that he
Who made?
I looked it up just because I was curious. But the argument was made that when he does punch somebody, it's usually near the end of the fight. So it's happening, we just don't see it.
You.
Refute it.
I'd have to reread part 5, and I'm not doing that.
Debunked.
It's on standby debunk.
But I believe that if you're looking for a character with more of said moments and some of the best exposition possible.
And he just goes, he has funny moments. That's a positive.
To his side. He has funny moments, but I believe that if you're looking for a character with more of said moments and some of the best exposition possible, just look at Mista, especially when he gets going when he's talking. Looking at Bruno's group converse in general always interests me, since it's exactly how you would see friends converse. I love it when they did this in Diamond is Unbreakable, and I wish they had more of it in Stars Crusaders. And a complete side note, he's the first Joestar in 6 parts to have a whole part dedicated to him going after a goal that wasn't put onto him by some random factor.
I don't care.
This means nothing.
Why is this a positive for Giorno? Why is this a positive for anybody?
It being unique in the 6 parts that it happened means nothing. It doesn't speak to its quality, it just speaks to its uniqueness. And uniqueness is not inherently good.
Now, going back to this, there's so many things that Giorno is, but not one of those things is boring. I also can't see why or how he's ever to...
He's so many things, but not boring. He's boring to me, so... What? Are you really about to sit here and try to explain to somebody that finds him boring why he's not boring?
You're doing a poor job of it.
Giorno is a boring motherfucker. He's too strong. He's too influential within the group. He's too influential within the story and the fights within whatever happens. He's too much, and I don't enjoy it. Honestly, what's a fight where Giorno legitimately struggles? Not Chocolata. Not White Album. Because he countered basically everything White Album did. Mista would be dead if not for him.
He struggled for a second here with Babyface.
And then he was like, oh wait, no, I can do that too. You're not even going to be close to me now.
Oh, let me just pop my throat back in real quick.
I can't think of a moment. And when I say struggle, I mean this dude could die. Jojo was legit dead without Polnareff for Death 13. Legitimately. The sun was about to wipe the muffs out.
This muff went, I punched the wall and it turned into a snake, and that snake got the antidote, and luckily it works instantaneously. I'm better now. I'm good
That's
now, y'all.
boring.
The fact that he can do almost anything, it's near limitless, is so boring. It's like, part 6. Oh, this dude can touch you and turn you inside out? How the are we gonna go? The Mobius strip, Infinity, boom, boom. It's like, makes sense. I turned a bullet into a tree, the tree back into a bullet shot you. Okay then.
I'm glad that sequence of events happened.
And I put a beetle in your brain as well. Okay. I could touch the ground and hey, that tree over there is withered and died. And now shade, no more shade, hits in sun.
Remember when he lost his hand and Muzz was just like, well, that's just it.
We're dead.
We're done.
Because this dude can, as a bullet is traveling through your brain, reconstruct it.
Not the bullet, your brain.
Your brain. I assume with the bullet itself, because he needs material.
Yeah, it's got to be with the bullet itself.
So
because the bullet never had an exit wound, so it's got to be the bullet reconstructed the skin, the blood, the meat underneath, the skull fragments, and whatever brain material it touched.
But doesn't he have to touch the thing that he's transforming?
He touched the bullets at one point.
I guess that counts.
Yeah.
But no, Mista, he did the hat reload.
He must have touched him at some point. Must have punched him. Must have. It's the only thing that makes sense.
It's a cool moment.
It's a cool moment. Don't think about it.
Horrible. Legitimately horrible. Shot in the head. It's like, no, he didn't.
Nuh-uh.
He's fine.
And that means he would have had to hit every bullet or touch Mista's guns or touch all the bullets. Because when he shot the tree, when he did the tree bullet, he was touching Mista while doing it. But no, he has to punch it to change it. He can't just touch it.
Does he have to punch it?
I've never seen anything outside of those moments where he didn't. He had to punch the wall. He had to punch the tree. He had to punch the ground. How you punch? He had to punch the gun.
Hopefully I can get something that's not one of them websites that are just like, hey, here's some booty shaking in your face.
Save
I'm not
search.
calling for this right now exactly. I would just to read Jojo.
I'll bookmark it real quick.
I'll come back to you later, but can I just get my Jojo real quick? Hey, the simple man.
So what are you looking for?
I'm looking for chapter 1. That. No, he didn't. I was looking for more of the tree when he hit the tree on the ground.
That's probably chapter 2 or something.
I thought chapter 1 would be longer, but I guess it just wasn't. Oh my goodness, we're going into chapter 3 territory. The Luca stuff is so long. Oh, screw you.
Wow, really? Chapter 3 stuff?
All right then. Chugging along. About to read the whole month in manga.
One of the most versatile stands in the series.
Oh no, he's punching it.
Oh no, he's punching. Oh man, that's so funny. Oh no, he's
so matter of fact. Oh, stop punching things.
I'm telling you.
Here he is, punching it again.
Outside of putting it into Mista's bullets.
Oh no.
I can't think of a time where he didn't punch something to breathe life into it.
Oh no, dude. That's a problem. That's a big chunky problem.
When he did the brick snake, not the brick snake, but the bicycle hand, I think he punched that. Yeah, didn't he break apart the motorcycle by punching it?
Oh, that's such a problem, dude. That's not okay.
That's how he breathes life into things.
I didn't know.
Referred
now
to.
we just have even more questions. That
So
part
can't-
makes even less sense.
See why or how he's ever to referred to as a character with no personality just because he isn't extremely
I'm personally not saying that he has no personality.
And I have seen very few legitimate arguments that he has no personality. That's a dumb thing to say. But he's still boring. Those two things are not mutually exclusive.
I was mistaken. Here he is getting punched, and this is a remote stand, so Popo should be feeling.
No, it's a remote stand, so he doesn't feel. Oh wait, no, because didn't Kidder feel it when? Yeah.
Yes, he did. So Popo should have just been stopped in time for like 5. There's a lot of punches.
There's a lot of punches.
We're gonna say at least 6 because there's 6 fists on the screen. But I guess for some reason the slowdown doesn't count for this.
No, I think you gotta punch the actual person, maybe. Because I think he punched Bruno himself and not his stand.
I mean, this is the only time this ever happened, so we don't know.
Yeah, there's not a lot of evidence to go on, except people just saying, I stumbled upon a Reddit post that was just, Giorno didn't forget his abilities.
Well, that's a good thing that he didn't forget.
Giorno didn't forget his abilities. I think the more he...
It starts with I think.
No, it starts with. Correct me if I missed something. I don't think Giorno forgot that he can speed up someone's consciousness. Besides Bruno, his punches rarely hit real non-stand people. When they did, they were in the form of a rush. I think.
Maybe go back and check that before you actually. And again, we have to wonder, why does it not affect the stand if damage transfers over from the stand to the user?
I agree. The only time he single punches anyone else in the series is Babyface, but Babyface absorbs the punch so I can see it not working.
What? What is that? What do they think they're saying there?
I think most of the forgotten abilities simply didn't have much of an opportunity to be used. I'm sorry, if you breathe life into something and then somebody else hits that thing and it reflects back on them, I feel like that has a lot of utility. If you hit somebody and they slow down, their perception slows down, I feel like that has a lot of utility.
Dude, legitimately, just make in a suit of leaves, and then anytime somebody punches you, it gets reflected back to them. We've established that there's no real set time limit. Oh, wait. Now, it appears that he kicked the floor and it caused the tree to grow.
This sucks.
The only problem is, we still need some kind of contact. Contact is needed.
Then, why were they worried about his hands being lost? If he could just do the stuff with his feet.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to play the part of the commenter.
Okay.
And I'm going to say his hand is on the ground, and that is what did it. It was not the feet. I'm going to play the part of the commenter and say that.
And is that all it takes?
I suppose so.
So he just felt with his hand. So what did he turn into the tree? Dirt? I'm gonna call a bush on this.
I mean, I can only say what I'm looking at. I also believe that it is a bush. There are, no matter how you slice it, there's problems. It's just like the Demon Slayer thing. It's like, no, you answer one thing, you open up a whole nother can of worms.
Triggered
so now,
Senpai, where's the video?
Bring it out. But now we have to just go, okay, he needs to touch it, in which case he needed to touch them bullets, in which case Is he touching each and every bullet and then just going, okay, as it's entering your brain, it's turning into all of these things that make your brain function and it's keeping you alive and all that stuff. Oh, good thing it lodged in your brain and didn't go through it. Whatever. Doesn't really matter. Or...
Again, he had to have dissipated that impact. Because it had to be like the second it impact that he changed into what it needed to be. Otherwise, you could still have bone fragments going through brain or something. You had to reconstruct everything it hit the second it hit.
Pretty cool moment, though.
But hey, Popo cocks a banana. So how fast can he really turn it back?
That he does.
This is a terrible part, dude.
There's so many problems.
Wisecracks 24/7, it doesn't mean he's bad by any means.
No, but it doesn't mean he's good.
Yeah.
He is boring. There's a difference between having a personality, not having a personality, and not being boring. You can have the greatest personality in the world. You can be the most animated mother in the world. I can still find you boring.
He's just your friendly neighborhood mobster, keeping it stylish and looking out for everyone.
Patreon, thanks for watching.
Thank you all for watching. Personally, I would love to do this for Jotaro, Jolene, Jonathan, Stone Ocean as a whole.
He didn't, so don't worry.
I need your help. I need this video to get either likes or I need you to go to Patreon.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be...
I'd like to do this. What's preventing you? Life?
Life.
It's got to be life. If it's anything but life, this is bullshit.
And Toreo so many things as soon as possible because that also goes with them too. Those characters always being misunderstood and called boring for no good exact reason. I want to do that all, but it does take a while. So until then, I have a bunch of other series that I do, so you all can look out for that.
See, it just takes a while.
This took a while? He got a bunch of manga panels.
Five minutes with synopsis.
Like writing a script, you can do that in a couple hours.
Yeah, I don't see how this would take a while. Maybe he's going the combined effort of all the things that he wants to do.
Sure,
It'll take a while.
But why isn't one of those things out?
If you want to keep up with me, follow me on Twitter. I'm really active there. You guys can also follow me on Twitch to converse with me when I'm streaming about really anything, and leave a comment for what you want to see next. It can be a part of a character analysis, something you want answered relating towards Jojo, my hero, anything I do, Hunter, or really anything you guys want me to go.
Jojo's my hero, Hunter. Mm-hmm. That's what he's got.
I just open this up and I just see Ichiban there.
Oh my god.
What you got to say about Ichiban? Is it something? Should I not love that man with all
Never
my heart and
said
soul?
that.
All
Never
right
said
then.
any
All right
aspect
then.
of
Shut
that.
the up. He did one Jujutsu Kaisen video. He loves Gojo.
Of course he does. Strong, but also theme.
One Punch Man.
Strong, but also theme.
Marvel.
Strong,
Pokemon.
but also theme.
My Hero. Hunter. Yep, all the things that he promised. Very nice. It's like a 9.
I was thinking 9 as well, honestly.
This is just looking way too much into this dude.
Yeah. I feel like if he went 2 inches deeper, it would have been like, I gotta tint it. I feel
take
like
away the synopsis part, take away the color part, and add some more meat to replace those things, and it would have went up.
This sucked.
But I don't need to be doing all this for somebody like Jolene. I can be like, she ate that in roach bread. Get in there.
It's so good.
Now I understand that's not the most eloquent in analysis YouTuber thing. I could flowery that up. But I'm not sitting there just going, blue represents yellow.
His calm demeanor, but he's not as calm as you think because he also expressive.
He was shocked this one time. Look at that. So his mask can drop. We did not get resolved.
That's amazing.
Not get fate.
We saw it resolve in big old letters too, and he refrained from doing it.
Did not get resolved.
That is amazing. That's
happy.
That's worth a not 10 right there.
Legitimately. I'll never hear that word again.
Resolve. I don't know why that just blank resolve. Fate. Resolve. Yeah. So we're out here.
I'm still not convinced with the Geo train.
I don't know if I ever will be. Wow, these Super Bowl price tickets are outrageous. The lowest is $4,800.
That's not a whole lot.
The highest is $39,000.
That was the lowest.
Oh yeah.
I thought you meant like the lowest level.
No, that's where you're at, sir. For your $4,800,
You might as well be in a parking lot.
and that's where you're at for your $39,000, sir.
I don't see liking anything that much.
You know what it is? It's in LA. So LA has their prices have been up the whole year. And the LA Rams are in the Super Bowl. So pull out them pockets, pigs.
But you still risking the cough.
Absolutely.
You putting your life at risk and you paying $40,000 for it.
That's ridiculous. I couldn't.
The people that got it, they could.
Even if I had it, I don't know if I could do that.
I mean,
Like if I was making $110K a year, plus tax, let's just call it $80K a year. If I was making $80K a year, I don't know if I can justify spending $7,000 to go see the Super Bowl.
I could.
I don't know. Because I feel like the experience would be better at home.
I think that's one of the things which you do and you just go, I did it and I know I never need to do it again. I got my one. Like going to WrestleMania. Like that was it. I'll never need to go. I did it. I did it.
I mean,
like who's booking a second in bungee jumping experience?
oh, people.
I know, but why?
Yeah, you got your thrill.
Yeah, you got it. It's over.
At some point, it's just going to keep escalating. Oh, bungee was fun. Now it's time to skydive. No, it ain't. Yeah, this is disgusting. But I will say, there's some seats that, like, just one level higher and you're spending like $6,000 less. Middle, like that's.
But again, if you're already spending $9,000, you're gonna go. I'll do what I'll pay out. I would justify it. Like,
I'd rather be here with the $12K than here with the $14K.
I mean, that's not a problem that you're ever gonna have. So,
yeah, I don't.
That's not a.
I'll tell you this.
That's not a decision you're ever gonna need to make.
I'll tell you when I could justify this bush. If the Lions were in the Super Bowl, I could justify going to see the Lions in Super Bowl for $8K. And if I had it.
You would have to have it. You would have to have it in excess. You would also need to fly in and hotels, all that stuff.
Yeah, you're looking at probably $12, $13K.
Yeah. And hoping that the cough is going to be done with.
Bruh,
we know it
in 40 years?
Yeah, I was about to say, by the time the Lions do make it,
we'll have the cure for AIDS.
It's going to be Jetsons time.
Or Flintstones. All right, this week we do not have a revisited. We're doing a live stream of Because Reasons for Genlock Season 2. Joined by Mike and Versus. It's going to be a poopy one.
I'm not looking forward to that.
And I'm not looking forward to having to watch it now.
I got to rewatch it.
Oh, never mind.
Just to get all my ducks in a row. Because that's how
And
professional I am.
it keeps biting us. We keep watching and reading and listening to things just like, all right, we're ready, here we go.
Hey.
Oh, wait, you just spouted a bunch of nonsense.
I rewatched that Wonder Woman 84. We didn't need to rewatch.
We didn't need to watch 84?
We did not need to watch that.
We didn't need to watch The Suicide Squad again. I mean, I would have anyway, but it's a good movie. It's a great
Do I
movie.
still have my notes? If I still have my notes, that rewatching can suck my balls. No, I'll put it in Discord. I'm not... Maybe I'll rewatch it like 1.5 speed or something.
Oh boy, the greatest invention known to man, speeding that up. All right, we're done.
Geo sucks, y'all.
Yeah, stop the cat.
Kill the noise.